These 7 life-changing skills will transform your life in these challenging economic times. You just gotta do it scared. It's like you're stuck in a cycle of busy and overwhelmed. And now with this economy, inflation, job losses, everything basically is in flux. You might not have the capacity to take anything else on. You're not alone. You're constantly running out of time, no matter how hard you try. But I have a way out. I learned these 7 life-changing skills from one of my favorite books, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's by Stephen Covey. How could I work, get busy with other responsibilities, but at the end of the month, I barely had anything to show for it? Or even with what I've put aside, I don't even know where to start. And I definitely don't want to lose my money. And to invest, you see, before I knew better, I thought investing was only for a certain type of people. But it was reading books like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People that kind of got me in the right mindset to start investing in myself. And listen, with the America that we know today, it's not just about surviving anymore. You have to find a way to be able to get ahead. So one of the main skills I learned from this book was being proactive. This is all about taking charge of your life. It's really just about making a decision, really, because in 6 short months, you could completely change your life. You can't afford to sit back in this economy. Interest rates are up. Wages are not keeping up with the pace at which costs are rising. And if you think you're waiting for things to just get better, for prices to go back down, yeah, wipe that out. This is the new reality. But being proactive is taking charge and making necessary moves so the economy doesn't force you into a position that you're not able to back out of. Here are the simple things that you can do. As simple as getting yourself a small little notebook, okay? And then you're gonna create this simple yet powerful tip. The book talks about having a circle of influence and a circle of concern. Now, your circle of concern would include all the things that concern you, but you may not have direct control over it. Let's say that you're interested in investing, yeah? You can't control the stock market. You can't control what these governments are doing over there either. Job layoffs, you can't control that. A perfect example for me are my contractors. And their renovation timelines for my properties. See, they are clear. They are set in the contract. And I even create a buffer to allow for some time and, unforeseen circumstances. But like clockwork, a contractor who did perfectly previously, or maybe on one project of mine, this time around, he'd be like, let me show you my true colors. Let me show you shake it and completely dismantle the whole project. And as you know, real estate, time really is money. And so especially if we're so far deep in a project, there's only so much that I can do. So in this case, I'll put it under my circle of concern. Now with the circle of influence, this will be the things that you can actually do something about, like replacing my contractor the next go around. See, your skill, your investments, your ability to pivot in any economy. You're not a tree. Even sometimes I heard there's some trees that can shift and move. But by focusing your energy on your list of your circle of influence, you are more likely to make more impact. So in this case that we are the home of ETF investing, you might not be able to control what's going on in the stock market, but you can control your ability to make income that you can take some apart and invest in yourself and build an ETF portfolio where you can consistently invest in it. Taking advantage of the crazy things that are going on with the government, where they are investing and putting their big billions into with government contracts and whatnot, you can in turn and find ETFs that carry those companies that might be on those big government contracts, and that could be an opportunity for you to invest in a growing market. You end up making money. So the more you focus on what Stephen calls your circle of influence, you're able, and it's going to be easier for you to progress more, especially in such a challenging economic time. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. When I started in real estate investing, I said, I'm gonna get over a dozen homes in under 2 years. I created a specific business model that gave me the income that I needed to be able to replace my corporate role. Now, setting these clear goals gave me a vision. It gave me something exciting to work toward. Had I ever bought a house before? No. Did this whole idea scare me? Did the market and whatever was going on scare me? Yes. But did I still take action? Yes. See, uncertainty breeds hesitation, but the ones who thrive, they move with a plan. What's your plan? What's your end game? Get more money? Be able to have more time? Build a plan to exit the 9-to-5? Or leverage the 9-to-5 to build a beautiful investment portfolio that you can just chill on I think it's important to ask yourself what it is that you actually want to achieve and what kind of person do you want to be. See, having some sort of a destination in mind helps you make better decisions to stay on track. I've always desired to build a community, bring people together, and create an atmosphere of just purpose, inspiration, and just like no fear whatsoever. Because what do you mean that you have a chance of life, of vision, of wisdom, of education, of opportunity, and you're not taking full advantage of it? See, I didn't have an exact idea of exactly how it was going to turn out like it is right now. I came in here with a completely different plan. And they were like, hey, tell me about ETF investing. I was like, hey, I'll tell you more because that's where I started. But there is a foundational vision that always drives me. So sometimes when I read the comments and the comments are like reiterating the vision that I had in mind, I'm like, oh God, what are you doing? So actionable wise, I love a good list. Okay. Create a list. I like to write down. Oh, I get crazy with my list. Okay. Sometimes it's just outrageous things that's like, how could this even happen? Listen, when I think about where I am today, 10 years ago, okay, I wouldn't imagine to be where I'm at today. So it is pivotal to write down what you envision, what you desire to see for yourself. So even if you don't have full clarity, just write something down, because I know there's something brewing. And sometimes you think like, oh, you're just gonna talk to a friend or talk to yourself. No, take a pen, put it to a pad and write it down so you can see it. Okay, stick it to a wall somewhere. You enter that room and then you see it. This is going to be a blueprint. You're going to add your goals to it. You're going to add what you value to it. And I mean, how inspiring would it be to see and notice to yourself every day that inspires you to take the right action? Because there are definitely times where I'm like, why am I even doing this? Okay, I feel exactly that for real estate. Even building out this amazing community, it takes investment, time, capital. And so sometimes when things might not go as perfectly as you desire it, I do feel like, you know what? Let's shut it down. I am that dramatic. I go to 0 to 100 and then I just got to call my sister and reel myself back in. But when I see these notices that I write to myself, encouraging myself, reminding myself of how far I've come, it adds a layer of inspiration. It adds a layer of vision and direction that I continue to invest in the path that I desire for myself, especially when things are not going the way that you desire for it to go. Our third habit that 7 habits of highly effective people talk about is put first things first. You see, when I realized that the greatest asset we have is time, I said, oh, let me figure a way to get out of corporate. Let me figure a way to build something. Let me figure a way to really maximize all these desires and excitements that I have in wanting to build and create something. And once you realize that everything that we do, okay, here on earth requires time for it to be able to grow, to become something, even with investing, because this is the channel of ETF investing. If you're here, subscribe, we're learning how to invest. You need time in the market to be able to see your fruits and enjoy the growth of your investment. So once you cross over to the part where now you have control over your time, you can yay and nay, it's good. And in an economy where job security isn't what it used to be, and if you know anything about AI and automation, this is the season to use your time and build on your skills wisely. So in the book, Mr. Covey says to start, not everything on your to-do list is as important. How are you going to prioritize your time and your energy? In his book, he introduces the time management matrix. So what he did was he categorized tasks into 4 main quadrants based on urgency and importance. So Covey goes on to say that effective people focuses on what he considers quadrant 2 activities. These are important tasks, but they're not urgent. They're important, like building new skills before you need them, networking with the right people, or even studying market trends before they hit. This is what keeps you ahead instead of reacting when it's too late. See, these often get neglected in the face of pressing deadlines and demand, but they are crucial for long-term success. The 4th habit that Covey talks in his book is to think win-win. You see, in our interaction with others, we often think win-lose. See, if I'm winning, then the other person must lose. But see, using my journey as an example, if it wasn't for the community of investors that I've come to meet, learn from, share ideas with, it would have been 10 times harder to achieve the goals that I did in a short time frame. In today's America, you can't move solo. I'm just gonna do it by myself. Yeah, that needs to be dropped. This is a season of building valuable relationships. Relationships build wealth. So seek mutually beneficial solutions. It's not about being nice or just giving in. As a matter of fact, you cannot be nice in business, okay? See, I'm in a business where I'm mostly the only lady in most of these spaces. And you can't be too nice to these boys, okay? I'm out here fighting for my life. And you can't be out here doing favors for tenants either, because it will backfire on you. But anyways, what I'm saying is it's about finding ways for both parties to feel valued and satisfied. Now, with your desire for business, if you find yourself in a negotiation, a strategy that I use, and is actually discussed in Covey's book, is asking yourself, how can we both win? See, this mindset shift can open up new possibilities and build stronger, more positive relationships. Let's move on to Covey's fifth habit. He talks about understanding and then be understood. Effective communication is a two-way street. Now, I'm even guilty for this. We tend to be more focused on getting our point across, that we actually forget to listen. Ever had a conversation where the person just talks and talks and talks, and after they hit you with a, wow, we're so connected, wow. Or when you say something and you can tell their response, they were just like waiting for their turn to just speak. So how do you strategically listen? Well, Covey calls this empathetic listening. Before trying to convince anyone with anything, understand their needs first. Whether it's an investor, even a manager, a business partner, or even a sibling. And especially if you're on an interview, when you ask those questions, actually listen. When I go to networking events and people are like, oh my goodness, wow, I really got to know you, blah, blah. No, all I did was just really listen to what they said and ask them follow-up questions. So it made them feel even more connected to me. It's very simple to build quality relationships when you strategically listen. So the sixth habit that Covey talks about in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is synergy. This brings me back to corporate and MBA days. I had to throw in some corporate jargon. Let's get the synergies together here. But synergy is all about teamwork and collaboration. Covey says when we combine our strengths with others, we can achieve far more than we could doing it alone. Just like when you combine your finger to like this video, it tells the algo that she's doing something cool here, and it gets me to make more videos for you. So like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, welcome. Hello, click that subscribe button and come in. We're talking all about building our skill set, investing, and leveling up our money game. So when we talk about synergy, it allows us to value differences and work together to create better solution. When I think about every single project that I've created, I have brought together the best that I know of to bring something unique through their strengths to birth an idea. The way this economy is going, collaboration could really be your secret weapon. No one does this alone. Now, a seventh habit is sharpen the saw. This habit reminds us to take care of ourselves. And I'm actually leaning more into that this year. I'm looking to hire someone to take on operations for the real estate business so that I can lean more this way. This is more fun. The real estate is like work. Do it. But it's gotta be done. But chit-chatting with y'all is like a party over here, and I want more of it. So you got to always find ways to continually renew and strengthen your physical, mental, spiritual, and well-being. This means taking time to sleep, to take care of ourselves, to be consciously grateful, and also nurture important relationships. Success isn't just about grind, just keep going. For what? And you lift up your head and even the quality relationships are strained and they're not even anymore. Think of it like sharpening a saw. If you keep sawing away without ever taking a break to even sharpen the blade, you'll end up working harder and getting even less work done. But if you take the time to sharpen that saw, you can cut through challenges more easily and more efficiently. To stay competitive in today's America, you need to understand how money can grow in your favor. You need to keep your health in check, both mental and physical. And it's time that you surround yourself with people who challenge you to level up. You need it. So at this point, it's like you read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You're welcome. So Covey speaks to integrating these skills to your daily life so you can achieve greater effectiveness, being fulfilled, and more balanced. It's not about perfection, but actually consistent, intentional effort. Small actions repeated often and over time can lead to big changes. Just like how I am on top of a mountain constantly screaming about investing in an ETF portfolio. Through whether it's your Roth IRA, whether it's a brokerage account, you are consistently investing in this portfolio that it benefits you in the long run. So what habit are you focusing on this week? Let me know in the comments. Have you read this book? Let me know your thoughts on it. And you know me, you gotta take action for the desires that are on your heart. Because if you don't take action, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? This is the season for you to do something a little crazy. Because around here, we do it scared.